Welcome to this video on tool number 5 of the IC Toolbox, the Non-Energy Benefit Evaluator. For general information about the IC Toolbox, see our introductory video in the channel. The fifth tool serves for a deeper dive into non-energy benefits by exploring them further. Its aim is to identify non-energy benefits and their value for a decision-making process on energy efficiency measures. Also considering the effects in whole cold supply chain. Let's start with some background information before we take a closer look at the tool. Non-energy benefits are advantages next to mere energy cost savings from the implementation of energy efficiency measures. They include, for example, improvements in quality, maintainability or image. For a general introduction to the topic of non-energy benefits, or short, NEBs, see our video on tool number 4. NEBs are easily underestimated, or even not considered, in the evaluation process of an energy-saving project. How can they be strategically determined and evaluated? In order for your energy efficiency project to be decided and implemented, it is important to get the support of top management. Strategic analysis is a good basis to start a financial assessment. Its three components can have a positive impact on the profitability of the investment. So how can the competitive advantage be strengthened through an energy efficiency measure and the associated non-energy benefits? Firstly, there is increased value proposition. If a value proposition is convincing, more customers want the products or they are ready to pay a higher price for these. For an organic food store, for example, better organic product quality or a sustainable product increases its value and leads to additional income. Secondly, there is cost reduction. Energy efficiency measures can reduce many costs in a company, well beyond the energy costs. Thirdly, there is risk reduction. Energy efficiency investments very often entail a reduction of important risks. For example, an optimized cooling system reduces quality problems or eject. The better quality in turn has a positive impact on the value proposition and turnover. Now, how to include non-energy benefits in this strategic analysis? Let's take a look at a step-by-step, value-cost-risk analysis. First, select an energy efficiency measure to be analyzed. For example, the installation of a modern refrigeration system. Here you obviously save energy. Then, determine possible non-energy benefits. For example, reduced maintenance costs, or noise, or improved product quality. Afterwards, try to categorize them in strategic terms, that means analyze their contribution to risk reduction, value proposition increase and cost decrease. In a next step, try to define relevant data and indicators. These can be quantitative, such as reduced maintenance hours or decibel levels, or qualitative, such as a survey on staff satisfaction. Try to collect the data with the help of the different company's departments. After you have assessed the strategic value of your energy efficiency measure and its non-energy benefits, in a final step, try to determine a monetary value for it. Another focus of the tool is to assess NEBs not only from the perspective of your individual company, but also along the entire cold supply chain. Therefore, we invite you to think about what positive impact an energy efficiency measure could have on your cold chain partners. Is there a common benefit? Let's take a closer look at the tool. In a step-by-step analysis, you will work through predefined lists of non-energy benefits and analyze their relevance along a set of simple steps. The first page is the info sheet. The info sheet provides you with basic information about the tool. You can find more information on the general structure of the tools in our introductory video. Next to the info sheet, there is the identification sheet. First, please choose and describe a recently implemented energy efficiency measure in your company. If no recent measures have been implemented, choose a hypothetical one on the basis of your experience. Please consider whether there are already implemented or planned energy-saving projects in cooperation with other members of your cold supply chain, that could be interesting for an evaluation. As a showcase, we have already pre-filled the tool. In our example measure, variable frequency drives are installed in the cold store. Please also enter a short description. Next, for your chosen energy efficiency measure, select relevant non-energy benefits. You will find a long list of possible NEBs, categorized by different areas. Production, waste and water, gaseous emissions, maintenance, working environment, risk management, and others. Try to identify relevant ones and evaluate their importance for the strategy of your company or your cold supply chain. Therefore, go through 3 steps: relevance, importance, and analysis. Let's go through the 3 steps together. First step: relevance. Please go through the list of NEBs. For a better understanding, you will also find some sample indicator for each NEB. Select those NEBs relevant for your energy efficiency measure by an X. For example, longer equipment lifetime and improved product quality. Second step: importance. In the next column, evaluate their importance to strategy by the appropriate selection in the drop-down menu. For example, medium or high strategic importance. Third step: strategic analysis. In the next columns, classify the NEB's contribution to the strategy according to 3 categories: cost decrease, value proposition increase, and risk reduction. We have already talked about this in our background slides, but you will also find some explanatory texts for the 3 categories above the table. Please start with the highest ranked NEBs according to the importance column. Put an X accordingly. You can set a maximum of 5 X's per category. If you select more, the corresponding column is highlighted in red. Now, go through the entire list and continue the step-by-step analysis for relevant NEBs. You can then switch to the analysis sheet. Here, you start a detailed analysis for your chosen and prioritized NEBs. At the top, you find a table with an overview of your previously identified NEBs. They are classified by their contribution to the strategy according to cost decrease, value proposition increase, and risk reduction. Now you can start an in-depth analysis. For your identified and classified NEBs, please try to assess the parameters in the tables below. Key performance indicator, data source for this indicator, and expected impacts. Again, you will find some explanatory texts above the table. Please note, there are 3 separate tables according to the already well-known categories: costs, value proposition, and risks. Let's go through one exemplary entry together. One chosen NEB was longer equipment life, due to the new variable frequency drive in the cold store. The respective key performance indicator, short KPI, is automatically pasted from the NEB table on the identification sheet. Adapt it to your own indicators and overwrite it if necessary. In our example, these are delayed costs for equipment expenses. In the next column, indicate the source of the data for the KPI, such as a department in the company. For example, technical service could collect data on machinery downtimes and lifetime. Then, indicate the expected impacts of the NEB, in qualitative or monetary terms, if possible. In our example, it is a 10% reduction in the levelized cost of machinery. In the last step, we invite you to reflect, to what extent other partners in your cold supply chain are affected by the NEB. In a drop-down menu you can choose between no, low or high impact. For our NEB example, all partners benefit from reduced downtimes and reliable machinery. This results in reliable long-term planning for the logistics partners and less reject, which also leads to cost savings. Please continue with the in-depth analysis for the other NEBs you have identified in a similar way. This was our introduction to the IC tool number 5 on evaluating non-energy benefits. The tool is meant to serve as an approach to discover the topic of NEBs in an exemplary manner. Have fun in exploring the tool.